Hi there guys, it's me again. Sorry it's been a while since my last talkover video. The main reason is that I swapped from a standard hard disk to a solid state a while back and didn't get around to installing the drivers. I did try and install the drivers, now they don't seem to want to know, so I ended up getting one of the little kind of free microphones eventually and trying that, which is not ideal but at least it works. Anyway, yeah, so if you've been following some of my videos, you've probably seen that I've been trying out a few of the other ships, because basically I wanted to try something different. There's nothing wrong with the Anaconda at all, it's a very good ship and I'm probably going to go back there in a minute with it. But I just wanted to try definitely the Python, that when I first got it in the game I only had it for about a day, and then I swapped to a Type 9. The other ship, the Fer-de-lance, I don't even think I really looked at it much. I tested it in the beta, but apart from that I didn't really give it a fair chance, so I wanted to go back and have a look at them at least and see what they were like. After quite a lot of testing, I found the Python was a good all-round ship, capable of doing trading and fighting, but I felt the shield was a little bit lacking. When I was sitting in res sites trying to sort of farm kills, I noticed my shield was going down and down and down and down, and eventually I had to kind of leave the area, which is something I haven't had to do much in the Anaconda because you can pretty much well sit there. With the Fer-de-lance, it's a much more capable fighter, it's faster, but again, because it's a better fighter, you lose the trade side, so it depends what you want. The shielding on the Fer-de-lance was better, there was definitely a noticeable increase, but still it couldn't sit there in a res site like the Anaconda. Combat wise, between the Python and the Fer-de-lance, both ships offer 4 guns on the top and 1 on the side. On the Fer-de-lance it's a large hardpoint, which means you can fit class 4 weapons like the plasma accelerator or the cannon. I did want to recheck those weapons on a faster moving ship because I thought they might be a lot better on the Fer-de-lance than on the Anaconda, because the Anaconda is very slow to turn. But after quite a bit of testing I kind of didn't get on with the cannon at all. I just found that it missed so many shots, and when you can't even see where it goes really, the projectile, it just sort of disappears. The plasma cannon, that was not too bad, but it was a very hit and miss for me. I mean, I know a lot of people out there are probably a lot better with fixed weapons than I am, but I still found that I miss more times with a fixed weapon than with a gimbaled. So for me, I found gimbaled is just superior. So for me, I did even try a beam weapon on it, and I felt the beam weapon was still not as good as a gimbaled version. On the Anaconda I usually put 2 sets of weapons, 4 of each, 4 sets of pulse lasers and 4 sets of multi-cannons to do both hull and shield damage. For me this works really well. I've decided to go back to the Anaconda again. Now I've actually finally checked out them 2 ships. I didn't bother with the Type 9 because that doesn't really interest me. It's just a trade ship, and for me the Anaconda is a better trade ship just because it's so much more lighter. I'd like to reach the 2 elite ratings for trading and combat. Getting there, it's taking some time, but it can be a bit of a boring process. For me the only way of doing the combat rating quickly or fast is sitting in a res site, and for me the Python and Fer-de-lance were not really happy at sitting there farming kills, whereas for me the Anaconda could quite easily sit there. I think this time I'm gonna get a bigger reactor and basically put 7 shield boosters on. I know there's a debate whether you want shield boosters or shield banks, but for me, when you sit in something like a res site, you can sit there for a couple of minutes and let the shields recharge, but with a cell bank, once you used it, there's no way of refilling it apart from going back to the station. So for me, I could fill all this up and basically get a full complement. I think it basically puts it about 800 megajoules of shield, which is basically a massive tank. And so far, nothing in the game can offer such a large amount of shielding. I still want to keep it being capable of doing trading as well, because the current run I'm found between what was it? Let me have a look. It's not that one. Yeah, that's it. Zelland or whatever. ZELANO to LTT911. I'm finding that I can do one way roughly make 1.1 million a trip. So for me, I want to keep that trading opportunity open, and so far there's nothing as good as the Anaconda to do it. I mean, the Type 9 hasn't got the jump range to do the 17.5 jump range. So unfortunately at the moment I'm just going to go back to the single one ship. I know I could have kept the other two ships, and by switching between ships I've lost a little bit of money, but for me the money isn't so much of an issue. It was just purely trying something different for a change. Yeah, as I said earlier, the main focus of doing all this was basically to check out the two other ships. I wanted to see what they were basically like, and especially the Python, give it a more better go. Like I said before, it was like a day I had it, so it didn't give it a very fair chance, and I think in that day I was purely just moving goods about, trying to get up to a Type 9, so I didn't even test it for combat at all. Whereas the Fer-de-lance, I never tested it apart from the beta, because basically I think at one stage it was 100 million and then they dropped it down, but when it was 100 million I did look at it, but I thought, well, it didn't kind of offer what I wanted as is the Anaconda. You kind of lost the trade side, so I never really looked at it. So this experiment may have cost me a few million either way, but I think actually the trading, I think going from a Anaconda to a Python cost me about 20 million, and I think Python to Fer-de-lance, I don't think there was much in it, but equally 20 million sounds a lot, probably in quite a lot of stages of the game, but when you get to this point 20 million is quite a few. It's about 20 runs if that, which is not that bad. And like I said, the main focus was really just to try them ships out and to try something different. They might have been a lot more fun to use, and I did think about keeping the Fer-de-lance. I would say there's nothing wrong with keeping Fer-de-lance at all. It's a very capable fighter. The Python, probably once you upgrade to an Anaconda, you probably don't want it. It's better. It's faster turning in that, but it's just the shielding, and obviously the trading is not going to equal it. Then obviously you got the jump ranges improved, so you probably find it second to requirements. But the Fer-de-lance might be an interesting proposition for you, because obviously it's got lower buyback, which is a nice thing if you're still in combat, and it did seem quite much quicker. So yeah, and at the moment there's kind of nothing else in there. I mean, the Type 9 I could have looked at for combat as such, but so unfortunately that's the only three ships we've got in the game at the moment in that era. I mean, we could easily do with a ship that's about 100 million, maybe another ship at 120, to offer a little bit more diversity at the higher end of the game. I mean, at the moment the Anaconda hasn't got really much else to challenge it. Maybe there could be a Type 11 or something. It could be 200 million, offer say 3 or 2 class 8 slots or something. That might be quite interesting. I mean, it could be there was on about Python, people, not Python, Panther, as in could be a Type 11 kind of variant. And it would be nice if they did sort of like a 250 million, which would be kind of like just a combat version of the Anaconda with sort of a very stripped down cargo space, but say they could have 12 weapons on the front, or say 8 on the front, maybe 4 as in on the sides and that as turrets. Yeah, but at the moment we've stuck with these kind of 3 ships as our combat ships, but yeah, for me I'm probably going to end up staying back in the Anaconda for a while and basically probably recovering my money a bit and trying to get up them 2 ratings. The trading one, the exploration rank, I'll probably leave for a bit because that's for me quite hard work, and when I go about exploring I haven't really found anything that interesting. So anyway, thanks guys for listening. Sorry it's been a bit of a probably boring video, but at least it's a video for me for just to check, make sure everything's still working, and hopefully you enjoyed it. See you guys.